Hello everyone, welcome to another live video. This time I'm just at this park, a different park today, with some fish in a pond. All these creepy, desperate girls follow me around everywhere today. Everywhere I go, they just follow me around, harassing me. It's crazy. They just stand near me and start giggling, and I've literally ran around this entire park just trying to get away and just be by myself. But it's very difficult. But I'm going to try and go with it, despite all of these distractions, all these irritations. And we're going to get into this about why narcissists seem to hate sex. And if this is your first time hearing about a topic like this, you may be wondering why. And, especially if you haven't been with a narcissist that long, you may be surprised to learn that, yes, they hate sex. And I've done so many videos on this topic, and it's actually gotten hundreds of thousands of views around the world, from practically every country in the world. So there's a lot of people who are going through this, who are dealing with a narcissist who is avoiding sex. Because they're all pretty much exactly the same, no matter what part of the world you're from. And yet, if you haven't dated a narcissist, if you don't know much about them, you may be thinking, reading the title, what? The narcissist? They hate sex, of all people? Of course, it can seem very confusing because they seem more sexual, more seductive than anyone else. And it's really over the top. It's really exaggerated with them. You would think that all they ever think about every second of the day is sex. But actually, no, all they think about is supply, validation for the false self. And sex is a tool to get it. And typically, what it means, when they withhold sex, when they're not having sex with you, they're looking at it like, what have they got to do to get the supply out of you? What's going to give them the most power in that moment? Almost fellow, I get dizzy because of all of these distractions. People follow me everywhere, and it's hard to even think straight because there's so many people. They're all coming after me all the time, so I'm gonna walk over here now because it's suddenly gotten really busy in this area. I'm keeping an eye on my stuff too, because as you know, about a week ago, someone stole my iPhone and I never got it back. But of course, they're all gonna follow me down as well. But yeah, the reason why narcissists withhold sex, the reason for that is because they see it as though it's going to get them more supply than if they were to give it to you. You got to think about it like this, right? All they care about is validation, supply, control over you. So they're thinking about what's the way for them to get that? Is it going to be by them having sex with you, being intimate? Or are they better off withholding it from you? And that's why many of them withhold it. And yet some of you may think, oh, but they were really good at it. The sex was really good. That's because you fed into it, the illusion. They were just reflecting back to you what you're interested in. That wasn't really them. It's only because you believed in it. And this is why once you start to see what they really like, they pull away because they know you're not going to believe in it anymore. And I'm sorry to say, but the truth is they typically go off and find someone who they deem to be more foolish, someone who is going to fall for it, someone who is, going to get into the adrenaline, the dopamine addiction that you initially were going through. When you were tied to them, you were trauma bonded. So that's typically why, as many people experience, after a certain amount of time, they stop having sex with you and then they target someone else. Now they're just sleeping around with someone else now. And not only that, but often they're flaunting it in front of you, they're rubbing it in your face to make you feel like you're missing out, to make you jealous. And honestly, there's nothing to be jealous about. And the reason why they do that is because they can't find any fulfillment in it themselves. And that's the whole point. They hate sex. Even with the new supply, it's still control, validation, superiority, feeling desirable. It's completely narcissistic with them. They are self-absorbed. Do not underestimate how self-absorbed they are. It's all about themselves. It's never about anyone else. Even though it may seem like they're with someone new, that person is a fashion accessory, a prop, to complement their false image and make them seem superior to you. It's not about intimacy. It's not about connection. It's got nothing to do with that whatsoever. Sex is only a tool with a narcissist. They find no fulfillment in it themselves. They don't even care about it. It's so hard to get away from these people. Wherever I go, they follow me. It's crazy. Like walking as fast as they can. I bet you I walk this opposite way, they'll be coming this way too. These losers literally follow me everywhere. Honestly, I was thinking about just going back to the condo and doing a video there because the energy here is horrible. And normally, I love parks. I love just going out and exploring. Here, the energy is just so toxic. It's just really bad. It's hard just to even sit outside even for a few minutes. I just feel like I'm suffocating. Like I can't even breathe. It's horrible. It's like doing a workout and I'm not even working out. It's not nice at all. But yeah. The hell was that? It's crazy out here. I don't know what is going on. It's confusing. But yeah, let's try and get back to the topic now. Narcissists hate sex. So they do actually hate sex. It's true. They don't like it. They will act like they're enjoying it with you. That's just to feed your ego. That's just to make you feel like you're something, like you've got them now, like they're yours. Because they know what you're looking for and they feed into that. So that's all that is. And here we go again. See, they always try and just walk in front of me, and even though there's an entire path. And then they spray this horrible aftershave all the time as well. It's like the exact same aftershave. These people are just desperate for attention. It's crazy. I've never seen anyone so desperate for attention in my life than this. Like, I can't even just walk in a park for a few minutes. But again, narcissists, they don't care about sex at all. It's only used as a tool to control you. And even, you could say the pleasure. What about sexual pleasure? That's not a big deal for them as it may be for you. They'd rather have the control. This is why they're able to withhold it from you. It's because they prefer the control over you. And nothing can compare to that dopamine addiction that they have, where they get to feel superior, like they've got one over on you. And, they likely can't do that through sex. They can't dominate you. But they can dominate you by withholding it. So that's typically why they will do that. But coming back to this area now there's no one here now. Since I left. It's no longer a hotspot, but it will be. Just give it a few minutes. Because I know there's so many people here who have nothing better to do in their lives. They hate their kids, they hate their families. And that's why they just want to be around me all the time. Oh well, it's not my fault. But yeah, it's true. Narcissists hate sex. I know it can seem confusing, and so many of you have this dissonance there, where you think, There's no way they hate sex. They seem to want it and love it more than anyone. Like, they seem like they're always about it, and it's just they don't want it with you anymore. That seems to be what's happening. But no, it's not true. They do hate sex. It is just a tool to control you, to get supply. And it's getting busier again now, so I'm going to go over the site. I just have to walk around because it follows me. There's no one down there, but everyone's right where I am. Wherever I go, they follow me. It's crazy. The craziest part is how they just play dumb. Like, they act like they're not even following me around, and I'm pretty sure everyone who's watching this can tell that they're just harassing me. But this is what they do, as you may experience, narcissists, they will harass you, and yet they delusionally tell themselves in their minds that it's you who wants them. This is the crazy thing about it. Like, when they're harassing you, abusing you, withholding sex from you, and you get angry about it, you get frustrated, they make it out in their minds that it's because really you want them. But actually, no, you don't want them. That's the thing. It's the opposite. You don't like who they are. You don't like who they're being. It's a problem. But their brains are miswired, and they have to think this way to protect their fragile egos. So that's how that happens, and that's how you can't get any sense out of them. It's all emotions with them. This is emotional trauma, unfulfilled emotional needs from childhood. But yeah, narcissists, they fear true intimacy and vulnerability. They can't be truly vulnerable. It's far too painful for them because they feel inadequate. They feel unworthy, not good enough. And of course, that's why they're always trying to put on such a show for you, like initially love bombing you, trying to act like they're perfect, and trying to orchestrate everything to make it appear that way. And usually it's because you're in the fog, because you're wrapped up in the illusion. And then as you spend more time with them, you start to notice all of these flaws, all of these insecurities that they have. And they become more comfortable, more relaxed around you. Like, before you know it, they're farting in front of you. They're leaving skid marks in the toilet, everything. But other times they won't do that because they want you to see them as attractive with a new supply. And it really depends, how they see you. If they still view you as desirable, they're not going to want you to see any of that. They're going to want you to see them as ideal, because your supply still matters that much. So that's really the difference there, and that's how you know that, they do. I mean, it's not that they find you attractive. They know that you are attractive. To other people, maybe. You have that social proof. So that's why it's still important to them. But otherwise, they couldn't care less. It's only because that validation from you matters. And that's why they want you to see them in a very specific way. Whereas someone else who they couldn't really care less about, they don't really care what they see. And that's how sometimes you see them go off, they get married, they have children with someone else, not with you. And it's because they feel relaxed, they feel comfortable around that person. Well, they're able to just let their hair down and just act however they want, because that person tolerates it, or just is that way themselves. So that's how that happens. And you've got to stop personalizing it. You've got to realize that this isn't about your sexual attractiveness or anything like that. You should never let a narcissist define you in any sort of way, especially not sexually. These are people who have really bad sexual health, sexual trauma perhaps. Many of them, I'm sure. I mean, whether we're looking at hypersexuality or asexuality, either way, this typically results from childhood sexual abuse. I'm just trying to find a quiet space. These people are getting a bit too close. It's quite uncomfortable. But you have to remember, these gang stalkers, they only care about themselves. They don't care about any of you. They don't care about who's watching. They don't care if it's life coaches, other YouTubers, doctors. It means nothing to them. They gave up on themselves and their lives a long time ago. All they care about is just presenting an illusion. So that's how that happens. But, I came out here hoping that it would be peaceful to do a video for you. That's why I'm here. And all of your viewers' experience is very important to me. I mean, I spend hours every day editing my videos, but I can't control other people. There are a lot of stalkers, criminals around here. And, as you know, when they stole my phone 1 week ago, as I mentioned, the police were in on it too. So it's all corrupt. But yeah, now we're going to go a bit deeper into it now. I think many of you are ready for this. What I'm about to say is going to shock you, because you may never have thought about it this way. But what they're doing is, when they're manipulating you, when they're deceiving you, confusing you, future faking you, they're actually stealing from you your sense of self, your energy, your identity, everything that makes you who you are. And this is why with time you become very confused and disoriented. And the reason of how that's happening is because you're putting all of your energy and passion into them. You're investing it all into them, trying to solve the puzzle, trying to figure them out, trying to help them. And you're getting nothing back in return. And they're kind of baiting you into it, making you believe if you just invest a little bit more of your time and energy, this is what you're going to get back in return. And you never do. So essentially they're conning you, tricking you, deceiving you. And that's how you often see them laugh. You see the narcissist smirk. Because they know it, that they're getting something they don't deserve. They're stealing from you. And they know it. Sorry about that. People often just want to get in the shot as well. I can't do nothing with them. I'm trying to get away as much as I can. Walked around the entire park several times. Honestly, even if I climbed to the top of a building, they'd probably follow me up there. It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, they steal your sense of self. And that's why you lose your sense of self, because it goes to them. And because they don't have a sense of self, all they have is a false character. They use your sense of self to become aware of their false self. It fuels it, encourages it, gives them confidence in it. So this is how that happens. And this is how you see them becoming more and more confident in it. While you're becoming very confused and thinking less of yourself, thinking that something's wrong with you. You notice how it happens on both sides? Because it's real. This is what's happening. This is the deep psychology behind it. And this is why, and they know it, they're aware of it at some level, that if they were to be intimate with you, you would immediately become aware of yourself again. Because then they're reciprocating to some level. They're giving back to you. And so you become aware of yourself. And so naturally you would then return to what you have to do to take care of yourself and your priorities. You would spend less time focusing on them, which is not what they want, because they need the validation to fuel the false self. And also the opposite is true for them. While they're not being intimate with you, they're not self-aware. They're disconnected from themselves. But if they are to be intimate with you, it then exposes their lack of real connection to you. it reveals to you that they can't really connect to you or be vulnerable. Because what happens is they're kind of forced to connect them to themselves by being intimate with you. And that's why many of them, they will dominate you. They will try and bring the false character into the bedroom. They will just do anything to try and not be really intimate, like avoiding eye contact. I can't even think or speak anymore. The harassment is crazy. I'm gonna have to go somewhere else. It's getting too intense because they all just come on top of me and like so many distractions at one time, and it disconnects me from myself, which is how they like it, of course, because they don't want anything to do with themselves. But I want everything to do with myself. I like myself, and I enjoy being me, and I don't just want to give myself away to anyone who doesn't deserve it and is just going to take it for granted. I'd rather keep my energy to myself, and to inspire all of you, because your lives and your difficulties in these relationships, it's very important to me. So, but yeah, this is pretty much what's happening. I don't know if there's anywhere I can go here. Wherever I go, they're going to come after me. I can't get away. They're all like giggling at the same time. They're like really sick, messed up people. But they won't ever come too close. They won't ever talk to you because, obviously that's connection. Then they have to connect back to themselves. And really they feel completely unworthy, inadequate. And it exposes that then, just like with narcissists, if they are to be intimate with you, they can't be vulnerable. They can't connect to themselves. They feel inadequate. That's why they play all of these power games, all of this manipulation, is for them to avoid having to connect to themselves. And that's why they're always viewing themselves in the third person. They're viewing themselves from other people's point of view. Even when they're being intimate with you, they're imagining how they look to you or how they would look to someone else. And literally in their minds, they're actually going through this in their minds. Like when they're being intimate with you, they're imagining how would they look from the side? How would they look from the back while they're being intimate with you? They're not thinking about how you look, or they experience the connection with you. They're not thinking about any of that. It's not real intimacy. And yet, because of the dopamine, it feels like it's something when it's not. It tricks you. And that's how, with time, it just ends up damaging, destroying you. And honestly, I felt it myself many times, where I had sex with narcissists, and initially while we were doing it, I thought it felt good. But then shortly afterwards, I felt like I just wanted to kill myself. That's how it felt, like I'd been pushed out of my own body, my own mind. It was like invasion of the body snatchers. Like they had taken over me. Because that's what they do. They're not happy in themselves. They don't like who they are. They want to jump into you. They want to jump into your body. They want to feel like what it's like to be you. And that's what this is all about. They want to become you, as Professor Sam Vaknin has mentioned in his videos. And sex, or withholding sex, either way, whatever they think is going to be more effective, it's always just a tool to become you. That's all that it is. And that's how you may have noticed, before you got involved with them, you were so confident, so passionate. And now suddenly they're becoming that way. They're becoming you. So this is it, this is what's going on. And it's because they feel unworthy of love, of closeness. They believe that they are unlovable. And that's why it's always just a performance with them. There's no real connection, no real intimacy. It's all just performing. It's essentially, it's no different to watching porn. You may as well be watching a video. rather than being with an actual person. And actually, that would probably be healthier, because at least then you're not losing your autonomy over to them. It's healthier to watch pornography, to masturbate, than to be intimate with a narcissist. Being intimate with them is very toxic, very unhealthy. It's damaging to you, as many of you have likely experienced already. But of course, what's really the better option is to move on and to find a healthier partner, one who you can be intimate with, one who's not so broken, so damaged, where they can't even connect to you. That's what's really better for all of us. But yeah, they withhold from you really just to punish you and dominate you, because maybe during intimacy, you were trying to bring them close. You were trying to get them to open up. And that likely caused an injury to them. Sex, intimacy, it injures them. It makes them feel unlovable, and they see that as an attack. But they will fake like they want sex. They will fake desiring you. There's no desire, there's no connection. All they want, all they ever wanted was supply, validation. It's all that matters to them. It's all about themselves. Nothing to do with you. You are a mirror. All you do is reflect back to them how they want to see themselves. That's all people are to the narcissist. And that's why, when the mirror stops working, they find another one. One who's going to reflect back to them how they want to see themselves. But yeah, the physical intimacy, it triggers deep shame. It makes them feel inadequate. It doesn't make them feel good. And that's why they don't want it. They hate sex. Because from being intimate, being vulnerable, they are being seen. And that's what you're then reflecting back to them. And then they feel flawed. They don't feel good about themselves at all. And that's why they prefer to perform at a distance. They prefer to go off with a new supply and just flaunt that to you. So you just see the performance. That's what feels better for them, because there's no intimacy, no vulnerability. They make you think that there is, but there isn't. It's all fake. And yeah, it's just a performance for you. And it's a performance to manipulate the new supply, because there's a lot of narcissists out there who get with each other. They can't get supply from each other. That's the problem. So they got to get it from an unsuspecting victim or an ex. And so they go off and they have sex just to wind you up. They essentially take on your identity, and they both pretend to be you. But neither of them can be intimate. Neither of them want anything to do with vulnerability. It's all fake. They're not really you. They're not really off living your experience. They wish they were, but they're not. Only you can do that. No one else can. No one else can steal you, the essence of who you are. They cannot sustain it. They cannot steal your personal experience, fantasy, whatever. They can't. And even if they could, they wouldn't find any fulfillment in it. But they can't anyway. It's not possible. That's reserved for you. Only you get to experience that, no one else. So, they try and trigger jealousy in you, but nothing is being taken away from you. It's not. Because what's yours is yours. No one else can experience it the way that you can. Even if someone else is with the narcissist, they're not having the experience that you were. It's never going to be the same. And especially with you, if you're an empath, you're a highly sensitive person. It's never going to be the same as you. And this is how you often find that, people get envious of you. They want to sabotage you. because they can't get the same fulfillment as you do. And that's why, instead of them being off and trying to actually enjoy the person they're with or whatever they're doing, they're too busy looking over their shoulder, looking back at you, seeing if you're looking at it. That's the crazy thing about it. I mean, if you're already in love with someone, if you're really having a good time, you're going to be too immersed in that to worry about anyone else. I mean, that's how it's felt for me, you know. In the past, when I was in relationships, when I was dating, just tune the entire world out. Just forget about everyone else. Just as when I'm speaking to you in my live videos. I'm just focused on you. I'm trying to tune out all of the other distractions. And, you know, that's what it means, you know, when you have a strong self, a strong character. But they take advantage of that in you. With them, it becomes a weakness. To them, it's a vulnerability. It's something they exploit. The way that you can experience a deep connection, real intimacy, that becomes a weakness around them. It doesn't become a strength because they're predators. They're emotional, sexual predators. That's what they are. And they sexually abuse you. And that's often one of the main things that they do is sexual abuse, sexual degradation. And it's horrible. It's a horrible thing to go through. But this is what they do, and they are the lowest of the low. Because honestly, anyone who degrades, deprives you sexually, that is inhumane. It is disgusting. But this is what I have to deal with all the time, you know. People bending over in front of me. It's disgusting. I see this stuff probably like 100 times a day, every day that I go out. They just follow me around and start bending over in front of me. It's absolutely disgusting. But this is what a lot of people are like you, you know. They're very sexually offensive. They want to offend you sexually. And of course, you know, it's a big part of it is because you are the exact opposite of them. It's because you like to be more reserved, you like to be more personal, you know, with boundaries. Like with me, you know, like I said, I like to tune out the world and no distractions, just focus on you. Just focus on delivering the message to you. They don't like that. These narcissists, they are exhibitionists. They want the whole world to see. They want the whole world to be involved. That narcissist is never exclusive to you. They can't ever be. They will never just be yours. They will always be public property. They will always be the town bicycle. That's what they'll always ever be. They're not pure. They're contaminated with a lot of other people's energy. And not because they don't want to be, but because they want to be. They don't want to cleanse or purify themselves. That's the last thing they want to do. They hate that feeling. They want to be all in the mix. They want to be involved with everyone. For me, I cleanse and purify myself every day. I hate having other people's energy in me. But these people, they are sexually depraved, sexually contaminated, and they like it that way. They don't want to be pure for you. They don't want to be exclusive to you. And, you know, a lot of times you think they do it just to get to you, but no, this is what they like. It's what they prefer, is to have everyone's energy being a part of them. And this is how, you know, when you get involved with narcissists, it's like, I'm sorry for all of the giggling as well. They just follow me around everywhere. They feel like they're tricking me, I guess. So they have that, like, the sociopathic laughter. Feeling like they've got one over on you, robbed you. But, what was I talking about now? Could someone let me know, what was I just talking about? Because my mind goes blank sometimes, you know. It's probably a survival mechanism. It's a trauma response. Because these people are damaging. Does anyone remember what I was just talking about before I cut off? Sentinel 87 says how they want everyone else's energy. That's right. Yeah, they want everyone's energy. You know, that's why they're always baiting people in, leading them on, stringing them along. They got someone at the gas station. They got someone at their local store, at the gym, everywhere. Everyone's energy is in them. And this is how, you know, if you're dealing with a narcissist who is a man, they're very feminine in many ways. They're very emotional. Can't get away from this. But yeah, they're very emotional. They're always in their feelings. Their feelings are always about themselves. They're irrational. And they can often be very almost like somatic narcissists. Even the male narcissist can. And then when you're dealing with female narcissists, they can be more masculine. They can be very dominant, controlling. They're always busy. They never have time for you. And they're just not like soft, loving, feminine. They're just like aggressive. And it appears that way, you know, it's sort of the opposite. Like they've just disowned who they are, their true self, and try to become the opposite. And, you know, it's kind of sad when you think about it, because really what you should do is when something like that happens to you in your life, where you're discouraged from doing something, from going in a certain direction, you should just go even harder. You should just push even harder in that direction. Not go the opposite way, not disown who you are. But that's what they did. They gave up. And this is why it's like in each and every moment, they just want you to back down, to give up, abandon yourself, give up on your dreams, your hopes, or just get really desperate and just beg them. This is what they want. Because that's exactly what happened to them. And this is what it was like for them in their childhood, is that, you know, people will usually try the hardest just before they give up. And that's likely what they did in their childhood. They tried their very best. And to no avail. And then finally, eventually, they gave up. They threw in a towel. And now they are who they are today. But yeah, let me know what you think about this video. My head is spinning. I just can't be around toxic people, gang stalkers. The energy is just... I know they think they're amazing. They think they're like, I don't know, Beyonce, Queen Latifah or something. But it ain't looking that way to me. I can see quite clearly with these glasses on. And it's really not an ideal to me. But this is a big thing, you know, with like Asian culture. It's highly narcissistic these days. And, you know, it's really out of trauma, and they compare themselves a lot to like the West, feeling like they can never measure up. So that's how many of them become this way. And yeah, gang stalking is prevalent in Malaysia, here in the Philippines. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about it. There's even one woman in this area in Davao who has the V2K voice to skull technology in her ear. So it's really bad. And yeah, these people are dangerous. You know, you have to protect yourself, because there's nothing you can do to help them. It's far too late. You know, the damage is already done, and now they just want to hurt you. They want you to feel their pain. All of the pain they felt all of their lives. They want to put you through it. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you've got any questions. 95 live viewers, give it a thumbs up if it's been good for you so far. Dr. George says, voice to skull, holy. Never heard of this crazy thing. Yeah, it's real. This technology is real. I've done plenty of research on it. And there's even CIA documents that have been released that show that voice to skull is real. And they've been using this since the 1960s. They used it a lot on, like in the war in Vietnam, maybe in Japan as well. There was also the voice of God. That's something they used in the Vietnam War. So it's been going on since the 60s, and of course it's developed now. And yeah, there's videos of a woman here in this area in Davao. It was the voice to skull technology. And it seems like there's no one there for her, no one will help her. And you can see her crying in the video. But this is how it is, you know. Most people, they don't care about anyone. They may act like they do, but it's just their image. When it actually comes down to it, to actually being there for someone, helping them, they couldn't care less. And this is just how it is. And yet you're the one who gets blamed, you're the one who gets smeared, because that's actually the real problem. It's that you expose them. You expose their lack of ability to connect. And that's why there's billions of views on these videos on YouTube. No one can connect to anyone. I mean, if there's really these ideal relationships with these narcissists, why are there billions of views on YouTube? No one can find a healthy connection, a healthy relationship with anyone. No one can. Because this is why, you know, when there is a vulnerable person who can connect, this is what happens to them. They get abused, they get destroyed, because that's viewed as a vulnerability. And this is why we live in a world full of narcissists. This is how that happens. "101 live viewers, give it a thumbs up. It's been good for you so far. In all honesty, it hasn't been good for me. I got a headache already. I just can't be around these types of people. You know, as you can probably tell, I'm more of quite a quiet, calm person. I just like being out in nature on my own. And I can't be around most people. It's a horrible experience for me. Just the energy, it's overwhelming, suffocating. I just feel all of their trauma. And I know they want me to feel it. They want me to take it on. And it's unbearable. And yet, you know, they think they're something. They want to act like they're so pure, and they're absolutely foul, disgusting. I can feel everything. I can't even breathe. Like my mouth just goes completely dry. I can't even swallow. My chest goes tight. My body is not comfortable with it at all. And yet when you are around someone who is pure, someone who has good energy, you know what happens? It's kind of like getting a massage. Your body just automatically just releases itself. Your muscles just loosen up, and you feel like you can finally breathe. That's how it feels to be around someone who is more pure. But when you're around damaged, traumatized people who disown themselves, dissociate in every moment, it's a horrible experience, and you're forced to have to dissociate from yourself. Either you're in just a false reality, a place that doesn't even exist. Because there's no observers, and for it to be real, there has to be someone to observe it. But of course, that's more philosophical or even scientific. But yeah, this is what happens. You have to dissociate around them, because they are dissociated all the time. And anytime they're not, they get angry. So you have to tune out of yourself. You cannot be self-aware. you have to reduce down to a child. And gang stalkers, yeah, they do all of these kind of things. As I'm seeing now, they're doing all of these hand gestures. The common ones here, they like to do like these kind of movements, or like the hands. As I posted on my Instagram, if you don't follow me on there yet, it's Narc Survivor YouTube. I've got a video on there with thousands of plays. Malaysian, oh no, actually, it was in Malaysia. These Malaysian gang stalkers doing these hand movements. I did film it here in the Philippines, in Manila. But then the next day, they stole my phone, pickpocketed it. So they were probably aware that I was filming the gang stalkers, exposing them. But yeah, they're not in the real world like we are. They're in an alternate reality, where there's no vulnerability, no connection. They just live a fake life. They could do things to you, and then in the next moment, they become something else. Completely disconnected. It's crazy. A complete lack of authenticity. But for me, I'm more about owning myself. That's what keeps me at a high vibration. And, that's really what makes life worth living. But yeah, I think I'm down here. Horrible experience, just being in this park. And even when I went to this museum here as well, just being followed around everywhere. But all of these desperate girls who are just, I don't know, they're like the local prostitutes or something. And that's why they can so easily just come on to you. Because in my experience, girls who aren't like that, who aren't so promiscuous, they're going to be open to you if you're talking to them. They're going to be receptive, yes, of course. More than those who aren't. They're going to be more receptive, but they're not going to be the ones coming on to you. They're going to be receptive to your advances, but they're not going to be coming on to you like that. That's because of a lot of experience. And yet, I know they try and make me think it's the opposite. But I'm really not believing in it at all. So they're really just laughing at themselves because I'm not even falling for it. They're not getting one over on me at all. And on top of that, they're not really even my type. I mean, in all honesty, I don't think I've ever met a girl in this country who was ever my type. And it seems like the only time that they could ever seem like they were was from far away, at a distance. Because that's just it. It's fake. Just like when you're dealing with a narcissist, they can be anything at a distance. They could be Superman, whatever it is, but when they're close to you, you see through the mask. You know what you're dealing with then. They can't pull the wool over your eyes anymore. They can't make you delusional. And that's why, with them, it's always at a distance, whether they're going to the bar with their mates, they just leave you stuck at home with the kids, or they're going to some clubs or something with their friends, and whatever they're doing, it's always exclusion, because you are there to validate it. If you are a part of it, then it exposes it. That's kind of the problem. You expose the lack of connection. You expose how it's all fraudulent. And that's how you get excluded from it, and you're just an observer. And by the end, you're like an observer. It's like you're watching yourself living your own life through them. Like they've become you and they're living your life now. That's what it becomes, because they wanted to take your experience. That's what they wanted. Your experience, your fulfillment. It's really your feelings is what they wanted. Because they can't feel the way that you do. especially if you're dealing with sociopaths. They may be more connected to reality than you, but they can't find any fulfillment from it. And this is why they're always scamming people. They're always engaged in corruption. They find no fulfillment in goodness because they sold their souls. But yeah, I think that's good for this one. And I can't wait to just wind down a bit now, relax. After this, it's horrible. You know, just the harassment, the abuse, the public humiliation. It's not a good feeling for me. But you know, narcissists, they view you as an extension of them. So even while they're abusing you, harassing you, in their minds it's good, and they think that you're feeling good too. That they think it should be what you want. They don't understand. Again, you know, they're completely disconnected. It's from trauma, dissociated. But yeah, for those of you who are still with me here, I just like to thank you all for watching, and give it a thumbs up if it's been helpful for you. Drop a comment down below. I read your comments every day. If you're new here, subscribe. Hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified when I go live again. And just looking down because they're performing again. It's so awkward. I just don't want anything to do with anyone here. But yeah, where was I now? Yes, if you would like to book a one-on-one coaching session, just go to my website. It's narcsurvivor.co.uk. Donations, I appreciate them no matter how small. You could donate by going to paypal.me/narcsurvivor. Follow me on Instagram, it's Narc Survivor YouTube. And also check out the new Facebook group, new videos every day. It is called Narc Survivor. Again, sorry for all the distractions. You know, there's a lot of crazy people, gang stalkers, criminals everywhere here in the Philippines. They follow me everywhere I go. But yeah, you know, maybe next time I'll do a video in the room. Although there's also a lot of noise disturbance there as well. But I'll see what I can do. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate you all. And I look forward to speaking with you in another live video very soon.